Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning and welcome to Guardian Radio AM. Today is Monday, the beginning of the week. It is January 8th, 9th, 10th. Aaron, what the day is it? So when did the 10th and 11th when? Is the 15th already?
The public holiday?
Yeah.
You ain't free no more, buddy.
You know I don't know.
Majority rule over.
Yes, majority rule was the 10th. Anyway, today is January 15th and it's a little after 11 o'clock in the morning. Once again, this is C.A. Newry and I shall be your host for today. I want to continue a conversation that Aaron was having, but I want to do a detour. I want to do a detour to the Bahamas youth regarding crime. Recently, we had 3 different headlines that mentioned and suggested crime and youth. In fact, I'm going to highlight 1 or 2 things that concerned me, that should have the country in a panic, that should have the country in an outrage, particularly regarding our society. And this is where the listening audience need to call in, because we can't just accept things without interrogating what it is. One of the things that bothered me, the headline, which said in a recent study, the Bahamas is listed amongst the most unequal society in the world. And I want that settled in. It said that things are so bad inside the Bahamas. We are listed, I'm not sure if we're in the top 10, of the most unequal society in the world. And they compared us to South Africa, where they have starking realities. The people so poor right here, and they live right next to richness. They're saying that the Bahamas, it is that bad. And I want that to sink in to see if people agree with that, and then we can interrogate that study, because I can have Aaron read that article too. Also, one of the headlines that bothered me, that vexed me, that I think that it was not an outcry by Bahamians enough, when the headline suggested that immigrants are enjoying the economic growth more than Bahamians. I want that settled in. They're saying that some immigrants are enjoying the Bahamas, whatever economic growth that is happening inside the Bahamas, the milk and honey that is happening inside the Bahamas. They're saying that immigrants are enjoying it more than Bahamians. I have an issue with that. That can't be right. And if it is right, someone needs to rectify it. What you mean they enjoying it more than me? So I have Aaron who can read that article too, right? We got 2 articles I want Aaron to go. Go ahead, Aaron. I got one more thing to talk about.
No, that's just one article.
No, talk to one but anyway, I want you to read that, right? Then there's another one headline I that vexed me, right? So there's a drug lure, right? That crime, that drug involvement is happening because 50% of school leavers are lacking a school diploma. That means half of the students who graduating could not even get the basics. And basics is the deal. We got to understand what it is. That 50% of students who graduating for the last several years can't even get a D. Not the same BGCSEs, you know. Just making the basic requirement. 50% are failing. And of course, because they're failing, they are lured into this drug involvement, which I say will stem into this gang crime, this gang culture. Because we apparently because no one identified what is the problem of this recent spike in murders. They're saying it's gang involvement, but no one told me which gang this is, right? What they fighting about. They didn't tell me where the gang's located, so I don't have to go. If they tell me the gang's located on this street, you know, if it's out west, or what they call the White Grove, I ain't going there no more. But they didn't tell me where the gangs them are, even though I would see where the killers are, right? But somebody need to tell me where these gangs exist, why they in the gang, so I can understand the dynamics, so I can detour my children them from getting involved. But so those are the three things I want to discuss. And I think Erin may have to leave early, so I got to push my time because I want her to interrogate this with me. And of course, I want to listen audience to call in also with some solutions, with some queries as to what they mean that immigrants are enjoying the economic growth more than Bahamians. Because that's impossible. How can, I assume the immigrants they mean by black people, because white people mean expats.
Expats means
White.
European descent.
Yeah, white people.
Yeah.
And immigrants mean everybody who have color.
Essentially.
Yes. Yeah. There's a different definition.
Yeah.
So read those things into the record so people can understand what is it that I'm talking about.
So let's start with the article, Drug Lure, 50% of school leavers lacking diploma. This is in the Nassau Tribune on Friday, the 12th of January, 2024. It starts with quotations, a significant, close quotes, number of young Bahamians are being lured into the drug trade as 50% of high school leavers graduate without even a diploma. A policy document is asserting. The newly released Apprenticeship Policy Framework for the Bahamas, linking poor educational achievement and lack of basic skills to high crime and poverty levels, as well as poor productivity and weak economic performance, voiced optimism that the launch of work-based learning for students in grade 7 and upwards will shift cultural norms in these areas. The policy paper released over the Christmas holidays also suggested the Bahamas is among the world's most unequal societies, with its close rating to South Africa, the worst offender, branded a sobering thought. And it suggested the results of the last Bahamas labor force survey showed that, quote, immigrants are enjoying the economic growth and not the local people, close quotes, despite the economy's more rapid than expected recovery to pre-COVID output after pandemic-related restrictions were lifted. Quote, shortcomings in education and training are amidst the main challenges identified in the 2020 United Nations Common Country Analysis, with 50% of youth who complete secondary school not qualified to receive a diploma, the policy framework asserted. Many local youth do not leave school with the requisite foundational learning levels to qualify to enter apprenticeship, and those that do are more inclined to an academic learning pathway rather than an apprenticeship pathway, also known as blue-collar work. A significant amount of young people also gravitate towards the drug trade or employment that generates income without the need for high skill levels, including occupations such as taxi drivers or bartenders, close quotes. You want me to continue?
Yeah, I want people to have it sink in.
These deficiencies are what the proposed National Apprenticeship Program is intended to help cure. Quote, a quality apprenticeship system that becomes entrenched in the Bahamian culture from an early school-going stage, suggested at least from grade 7, will shift cultural norms and allow local employers to engage with local youth within a work-based learning context, the policy framework said. It continued, social inequality is a significant feature in the Bahamas, with a Gini coefficient of 0.53 in 2019, a sobering thought when compared to the worst in the world, South Africa, at 0.63. We were at 0.53, they at 0.63.
And I don't think people understand all of that language, right? It is bad in South Africa. They use it as a prime example about realities of people being rich, and right next to that, people being extremely poor. The poverty is so bad that they said, man, the equality is just different, right? Mm-hmm. How can you live on one side of the street and you making it, and on exactly on the opposite side of the street, you are so poor and it's so much money flowing in the economy that doesn't explain it. They are saying that in the Bahamas that exists.
Yeah.
That in a area of moving a couple of streets, I guess it's called Bay Street versus over the hill, that you can see people living here who are having these 5-story houses. You're exaggerating there. And right next door, they have a shanty town. That's the norm for the Bahamas. That we haven't addressed that. That causes crime because of the parallel, the starking comparison or contrast in between that.
Let me continue. The Bahamas National Labor Force Survey indicated that immigrants are enjoying the economic growth and not the people.
How?
I will continue to read. The large numbers of work permits requested from the Department of Immigration attest to this fact, and it is also considered a reason why a quality apprenticeship system is needed in the Bahamas to support the skills development process for local youth in particular. So Bahamians are applying for work permits for these migrants, for these immigrants.
But let me pause.
Close.
I understand. I want to appreciate what this apprenticeship means, what type of jobs this is, right? Because we have BTVI. BTVI is considered a trade school, right? But you need to be able to read and write. This apprenticeship program is not BTVI. They're saying that these people who are they putting on this apprenticeship is not even qualified to go to BTVI where you learn a trade per se, right? These people, these Bahamians need to learn a trade via apprenticeship, be on the job, hands-on, to be able to learn. But apparently there are immigrants here who are able to secure jobs, even this rapidly growing development economy having, and again able to secure jobs, but Bahamians are not being qualified to do.
I ain't sure, Newry.
So what does they say? So what jobs are the immigrants getting that we need apprenticeship for? I thought they wash pots. I thought they cut grass.
Let me continue to read.
I don't need an apprenticeship for that.
No empirical evidence was presented to support the assertion that expatriate or foreign workers are benefiting more from the post-COVID recovery than Bahamians. That no empirical evidence was presented to support the assertion that expatriate or foreign workers are benefiting more from the post-COVID recovery than Bahamians. However, a significant proportion of the work permits issued and renewed annually by the Department of Immigration go to Haitians, Jamaicans, and Filipinos for jobs such as gardeners, handymen, construction workers, and maids. These are all jobs that Bahamians can perform, but elect not to do, with many viewing such posts as beneath them or the salaries on offer too low. Quote, current Bahamian economic prospects are on an upward trajectory, but skills are needed for residents, in particular the youth, as at present many foreigners are employed when those jobs could go to local people with the requisite skills, the policy framework said. There is also a view that even Bahamians who have the necessary skills are not employed, possibly due to a lack of relationships between employers and those that are unemployed.
You had a jobs they called, Aaron?
Hold on, you ain't hear what they say?
Go ahead.
It ain't, I mean, it lends to those who believe it ain't what you know is who you know.
But what jobs are they saying, Aaron?
Say workers, construction workers. See, I don't think construction workers should be in that list.
I don't think Bahamians should.
Gardeners, handymen, construction workers, and maids. See, I don't know if construction workers should be on the list.
It doesn't fit.
Right. Unless they're talking about unskilled labor. Right? That like the lowest entry-level positions in the construction space.
Let's go to the first call, Aaron, because I hear the need for apprenticeship, you know. But if Bahamians say they don't want to be no maid, no matter what apprenticeship you give me, you didn't hear the part where they said they didn't want to be no maid. Let me go to the caller, man. Go ahead, caller. Can you hear me?
Morning again, CA. Good morning, Aaron.
Morning,
Good morning.
morning.
Good morning again. Listen, I just wanted to say something. That this wasn't my idea. 52 and I, we live in the same constituency, in the same
Community.
community. And I was telling him, that the government, that they have BTVI, the National Training Institute and whatnot, that is geared toward helping individuals who did not finish school and whatnot. And he said that this was his idea. And I'm putting it like this. If what they say, if Muhammad don't go to the mountain, then the mountain must come to Muhammad, or whatever it is.
Absolutely.
Why don't they set up, and this was his idea, substations? Because these individuals in this community, they have to find bus money, they have to find clothes every day, they have to find all these other things in order to get to these different places.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't they set up substations? Use the urban
Renewal
renewable
Center
area.
and the constituency offices.
Go in each community, identify these individuals. Because I know several young men who are out of school and who are doing nothing. Okay? One I'm trying to get sort of, you don't have the documents, you don't have this, you don't have that. But you can take these young men, bring BTVI and all of these programs into the communities so people would be able to have access to it without of all these. Because, as a former teacher, right? Education is a journey, but training is a destination. You can train somebody with limited education in doing things. Because we know a lot of the contractors on the family island and everything, they didn't go to no school, but they could build a house, they could fix a car, they could fix a toilet, because they were apprenticed under somebody, right? And we could use that same, once they have, and a lot of these people, a lot of these individuals, they can do the basic thing. So
Absolutely.
the government needs to try something like that.
Absolutely. I love the idea. Y'all keep sparking these ideas. I mean, it's absolutely right. The boy them ain't coming out the community. They in their minds, you already think they bad boys, right? They don't want to visibilize themselves in that way.
Plus, they can't travel.
Right. Bring the product, bring the service to the community where the people are.
Let's go to the next caller there. Go ahead, caller. Can you hear me? Go ahead, caller. Can
Good
you hear me?
morning, Aaron.
Morning, cousin.
Listen, I am listening to you guys talking about these jobs and foreign persons. I know of a few times that I drop ads off for persons who work in the same area as me that had on it maid needed, and these persons now that I'm talking about, I can tell you, I know they already have their maids of who they need. These are foreigners, Philippines, and one or two Haitians. They already brought them in. They only advertising it. They're saying they're advertising it because it's what Labor Board requires of them to do. So they advertise it. There's no need to call it, because if you call it, they can tell you the job is already taken. Mind you, you are just going in today. But these persons already have, and a lot of times that's what these people do. It's not to say that behemoths don't want to earn that money. Behemoths want to earn it. They don't give the behemoths a chance in some cases. You understand?
Yes,
they don't
ma'am.
give you time because they want who they want, and they already have these people sorted out as to who they want. They don't want a behemoth in their homes.
That's definitely the case in some cases.
That's what I say. In some cases,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm speaking from what I've seen over the last 4 years in the area that I'm in.
Yes, ma'am.
The persons that I know put out ads for maids and gardeners.
They already
don't
have
want
them.
no maid and gardener. They only do it because, and they already send their documents to immigration to bring in people, but they have to advertise to show that they advertise here first. It's only a formality. They don't want you. They just put me there because they have to put it there.
Thank you, caller. Thank you, cousin.
Let's go to the next caller quickly, Aaron. Go ahead, caller. Can you hear me? Go ahead, caller.
Turn
Turn down the radio.
All right, hold on. Give me a minute.
Don't take too long now.
I came here in Nassau from Grandmama in 09 after Francis and Jane, Oregon. I came here to teach food and beverage to the college. That's the university. You know what they told me?
What did they tell you?
I told
To teach?
I mean, the education I have, too old. That's the kind of education these youngsters need, what I know. Let me tell me down.
What discipline did you want to
In
teach
the
in?
regular, in all of the I work at a five-food restaurant for 28 years. They tell me down. They tell me I too old. What y'all have to do about the old people who got the education.
Okay, so watch
That's all I
this.
have to say.
So perhaps with this new apprenticeship. Thanks very much, Carl.
Pause. There's tons of institutional knowledge trapped in the minds of retired civil servants, retired professionals, right? It's up to them to extract that knowledge. Now, mind you, the value of the knowledge is to the whole, to the future, preserving the past, understanding the present, preparing for the future. The value of that knowledge is to everyone. But I want to say something to seniors. You cannot wait until you're retired to talk about somebody have to see the value of the knowledge you have. See, when you were a young person working, you extracted the value of that knowledge for you. And in that time, you were supposed to be devising systems to be able to extract that knowledge and extract the value from that knowledge as a senior citizen for the benefit of yourself and for the whole. This is now at national security proportions. Too many people have too much information that is required for the successful development of the country locked into their own personal experiences. And we need to figure out, like the gentleman is calling for, mechanisms to be able to extract that information. Organization for Responsible Government runs a Saturday school, right, where they teach people about civics, about community development, about laws and policies. People, actors in these communities need to develop a mechanism to connect young people with older people so that they could share the value and share the knowledge and realize the value of said knowledge.
I see we have two more calls here, but let me read this too. But let me put it through. It says, it's simple, CA Newry. Immigrants don't have to buy a $100,000 piece of property. They do not have to pay real property taxes. They do not have to pay $8,000 for a house plan to get approved by Ministry of Works. Shop set up all over the place. Don't have to pay business licenses. Don't have to pay BEC and waterworks. So this is how they are taking advantage of the economic activity.
Read the thing again.
Yeah?
Let me the piece of paper. Let me the piece of paper before I go.
Go ahead.
Let me the piece of paper before I go. Because I don't think we are reading this properly. Right? No empirical evidence was presented to support the assertion that expatriate or foreign workers are benefiting more from the post-COVID recovery than Bahamians. See, earlier the article says, and the apprenticeship policy report suggested the results of the last Bahamian labor force survey showed that immigrants are enjoying the economic growth more than locals. The report says that the last labor force survey showed, right? So the report suggested the results of the last labor force survey showed that immigrants are enjoying it more. But further down in the article, it says, no empirical evidence was presented to support the assertion that expatriate or foreign workers are benefiting more from the post-COVID recovery than Bahamians. So there's a couple of things there. There's no actual evidence to show that, no statistical evidence, but we don't know who they specifically talking about. Are they talking about what we typically call expats, which are European descent, phenotypically white migrants that come to work? Or are we talking about the ones we like to call immigrants and illegal?
But we're talking about entry-level jobs. Let's go to this caller quickly. Go ahead, caller. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Newry.
Go ahead.
Good morning to you and Ms. Green and the wider Bahamas.
Morning.
Obviously, they're not looking at the entertainment industry. Obviously, they're not looking at the all-inclusive, where they have foreign entertainers displacing Bahamians under the guise that Bahamians are not qualified to do a particular kind of entertainment, which is a bunch of foolishness in this country. And so, the strategy that they use They bring in these foreign dancers, for example, at certain properties, and they pay them meager salaries. They don't want to pay qualified Bahamian professionally trained dancers to pay them their value and their worth, and then they say Bahamians don't want to work. We got to stop this foolishness and hypocrisy in this country where our government, and all of them know it because we have reported it numerous times to the Ministry of Labor, and nothing is being done about it. And so we, as a Bahamian people, have to insist with our respective governments that in these heads of agreement, it is mandatory for them to employ Bahamians in the entertainment industry. Otherwise, no foreign entertainment will be allowed into this country. That is the position of the entertainment community.
And I appreciate that. And you believe that will be the answer to Bahamians taking advantage of opportunities. But I have some more callers here. Producer Patrick, the caller through again. Go ahead, caller. Can you hear me?
Yes, hi. Good morning. How you doing?
Doing well.
Great. I'm calling to speak about the skills training that's needed in the country.
Yes, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I am calling from Grand Bahama, actually, right? And I am the assistant director of labor here in Grand Bahama. At least I am, but I was sent home a few years ago and still home, waiting to be called back to work. I was responsible for the labor department here in Grand Bahama. And under my leadership, we noted that, the industrial sector here is in need of workers, especially Bahamian workers, because the place is saturated with foreigners. So what we did, when I was in charge of the Department of Labor, we did a skills forum, a high school skills forum here in Grand Bahama. I think it was in 2019, where we brought over 500 high school students from 10th to 12th grade together in the auditorium of St. George's. And we was bringing an awareness to the students to let them know that, hey, you don't have to travel abroad for certain jobs. They are right here. All you need to do is know what type of jobs that are here, and you can apply yourself as it relates to training. And that went on once. In fact, when we started to do it again, government changed, and that was the end of it. You see, the young people aren't aware. While we might be talking about, we need people, Bahamians, to do certain jobs, they're not educated on the type of jobs that are out there that are paying good salary. So we need to sensitize those students. And I think in one country, I'm not sure what it was when we were doing the research to put it together. This was under Dion Folk. We noted that one country, they started treating their children from preschool. They tried sensitizing the preschoolers about the type of jobs that are available in the country. So as they grew, they were knowledgeable about the type of employment that they could probably look into when they become adults. But here in the Bahamas, they don't do that. We believe in bringing in the foreigners and giving the foreigners the good jobs when the Bahamians can do the same job. All they need to do is to be sensitized, and the training is provided for them. And the Department of Labor, they have all of the information, all of the numbers to say what type of jobs are coming to them for the foreigners, for work permits, because it starts with the Department of Labor. We have to say, yes, well, there's no vacancy. So once we say there's no vacancy, then just open up the door for the foreigners to come in, okay? But once we, like I said, the word is sensitizing the young people, sensitizing them to the type of industry that are out there, okay? The industrial industry. There are all types of jobs over here in Grand Bahama that the young people can apply for, but they lack the training. And like I said, the Department of Labor, while they do their labor on the block, that's good. They do their soft skills, that's good. But they don't, these jobs are just small. They're not high-paying jobs. But the industrial sector, there's good money in those areas. How to fix engines, how to weld, how to do pipe fitting, how to, the list is endless, especially at the shipyard, at Barco, at the Cantina Port. All right, you go do the math, do the research, and you will see the ratio of foreigners in comparison to Bahamians that are working in these industries. But, like I said, I blame the Department of Labor. They're just sitting down. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. Be honest. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. And they send home people like me who have the skills, who have the desire, okay, to do this type of work. They have me home sitting home for 2 years. 2 years and don't have no intention of bringing me back.
I'm sorry to hear that, ma'am.
Victimization in this country. They need to stop it. Bottom line.
Yes, ma'am.
Have a good day.
And good luck. I hope they get some resolution with you. But clearly, you're indicating that there needs to be some type of depot where we know exactly what skills are required. We know what's making money? Cabinet makers, right? People who makes the bedroom beds and chest of drawers, right? And we see that Jamaicans have come here and set root because they're teaching their children from grades 7 to 12 how to make a cabinets, how to tile, right? How to make drawers, chest of drawers and everything. So they're coming now to the country with a basic education, 17, 18, and now they control that entire industry. So when you hear about this apprenticeship program and you're wondering why they talk about maids, when there's clearly a industry of cabinet making where Bahamians could take advantage of, right? We live in an archipelago, right? How come we don't have a apprenticeship program on how to fix boat engine? If you have a boat, you definitely need to have a boat engine be fixed. But we have another caller here, producer. Let's patch the caller through. Go ahead, caller. Can you hear me?
Hey, what's happening, Siri?
Doing well. How you doing?
Everything good, man. Listen, the lady who called from the Ministry of Labor.
Oh, she's a former employee. Go ahead, employee. Go ahead.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, a group of young men and grandmama working a specialty here in the industrial sector. A couple of years ago, we gathered ourselves together. We're all trained, we're all certified, we're all qualified, we're all experienced. We gathered ourselves together and we went to the Labor Department as a group. And we registered our craft with the Labor Department. Reason why we did that is one of the things the Labor Department was saying, because we're not registered, when these companies ask for these work permits, because they don't see no one who's registered, they have to give it to them. So we register ourselves. And up to this date, they're still bringing foreign workers in our area. When we're all qualified, we're all certified, we're not just certified locally, we're certified to work anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world, and most of these foreigners who come here, they ask us to train them. So again, why are the Labor Department still issuing a work permit when you are certified, qualified, and experienced? Bahamian men who are unemployed in that particular sector.
I hear you. Sounds like we're shooting ourselves in our own foot.
We are, big time. Big time. So the ministry, the Labor Department knows exactly what is happening. They're the one who issued these permits because when these people ask for work permit, they go and see if there's anyone who's registered in their books. We are registered.
I hear that you are registered. You believe the majority of Bahamians are registering and say, hey, I'm here, I have talent, I have skill, and I'm just waiting for the opportunity. Do you think the majority of Bahamians are doing that?
I was a part of the group who went. There was maybe about 20 of us who went. About 20 of us. I was a part of the group. So that's why I could tell you that we went to the Labor Department in the upstairs in the back of the Churchill building, I believe. I'm around by 17th shop, upstairs, the old immigration building. A group of us being there, we registered. And I can say today, they still bringing foreigners in, right this very minute.
Hopefully with this new apprenticeship program, things change. But thank you very much, caller.
All right.
Let's go to the next caller. This text here said, good morning. Yes, we have the largest income per capita in the Caribbean. Unfortunately, education is not a priority for most households. Easy accessibility to ill-gotten gain is in part the cause of our society's downfall. Let's go to the next caller there, producer. Go ahead, caller. Can you hear me?
Hey, good day. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Oh, I'm good, man. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. You know what? Like, I listened to a few of the callers, and everybody pretty much lead back to the same. I guess pretty much was saying the same problem exists. And to me, it looked like the solution was pretty clear. That they have a lot of permits, but if you have a Department of Labor and you telling them what the requirements are, then you should have a queue that says, okay, all the permits that everybody applying for, you have to go through this whole queue of people that we have lined up here already. Plumbers, gardeners, maids, whatever, whole queue. You come here, once you can run through this, then you could get a permit. And that's saying like that's a simple solution to.
That sounds easy.
Yeah, that's very easy. I mean, you controlling the permits anyway. So all you got to say is, yeah, you don't even put nothing in no paper. They already have the people right here. They register here, no matter who they is. If they're from foreign or wherever, the payments up front. Once you then run through that whole queue, then you will go down. Then whoever else, we can't find one, bring in somebody. And I think that will solve a lot of this problem.
Thank you very much, Carl.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. Before I go to the next call, I'm going to read this text. It says, morning, I'm a Bahamian living in Oregon and haven't been back home for about 5 years. Right, 5 years. Up until the past Christmas, I was very disappointed to see that our local tourist spots, like the fish fry, have been completely taken over by our friends from the south. This is very concerning. I believe that Bahamians we are losing ourselves through our culture, our food, our music, and our love for each other as a nation. And we're talking about unemployment by youth and our youth not being qualified, right? And this texter from Oregon is giving an example that once upon a time we would have assumed that the fish fry would have been an all Bahamian, Bahamian experience. But we see that Bahamians are now renting out, outsourcing. They may have owned the restaurant itself, but the count stands are outsourced to Haitian Bahamians, Haitian nationals on work permits, etc. So perhaps the same thing is going on regarding to there being a Bahamians not qualified for different areas, right? Where they saying, "Oh, we're trying to get these Bahamians jobs, but these foreigners are now benefiting from the growth of society." It's just because Bahamians are now employing them and considering that these are better options. Perhaps that's the issue, right? Go ahead with the next caller there, producer. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, good day. How you doing, CA? And hi, Aaron. Good afternoon. Just a couple of quick things on that. Once you mentioned the beliefs, but I just focus on immigration. I think the Bahamas is a victim of its own success. And whereas we have become successful, but we have not known how to manage that, and then the disparity in wages, and also success. And it's not that people are intentionally doing it, but some people are going to be successful, and while others are not, and then that gap seems to be widening. Then I think we should develop a 5-year max for laborers. So whoever comes into this country, you are not allowed to work in this industry in the Bahamas for more than 5 years. And you could either do it 5 years one time, and then consider whether after a 5-year break, then you can bring others. And then also additionally, the immigration department is competitive, is actually competing because they bring in a lot of money. So the government is not inclined to reduce that because now they be competing with their own country. But the challenge is a lot of that money then has to go back out towards paying for social services or programs. You see, so we end up losing on one end. We gain on one and then lose on other. And then as the Bahamian parents, also I don't really put the blame on the government as much as I put it on Bahamian parents. My mother demanded more from us. So as she progressed, she moved us from one community to the other. So the parents, and some people may say, oh, these parents can't do better. But they could, and many of them could, and they need to do better for their kids so their kids don't get caught into these violent. I grew up in an urban area. I grew up where a lot of my peers and I became gang leaders or eventually, and thank God for my mom who moved us. We were able to avoid a lot of that. Lastly, Bahamians will do the menial jobs. They are doing them.
You think Bahamians won't do menial jobs?
Yeah, man.
They'll do garden work?
Guys who are doing, when I say menial, maybe if that's not the right term, I don't mean to, but low-paying jobs. The jobs that people call low-paying, which really should be higher-paying. What I noticed in the construction field, someone said, I think Aaron said the construction field should be removed. But do you know that right now the construction field is dominated, not dominated, a large portion of that is Haitian labor now. So what I think we need to do with the jobs, even with the maids, but I know Bahamian women who do maid jobs.
But that's in the hotel. You think Bahamians willing to go work in someone's house?
Yes, boy, people do that now. I've hired Bahamians who worked in my house for $80 a day.
A day.
I'm telling you, they're willing to do it. It's just that we're not putting it down. I've hired more than one Bahamian who's willing to do it. if we pay them a fair wage, and to me, it'll probably require more because the cost of living is so high. We can't just say that they want to. Bahamians are willing to do it. People want to take care of themselves, their family. They will do the work if we are fair to them. If we give them a fair labor salary. So I don't buy that. I believe that the government needs to stop it. It needs to reduce the foreign labor force, and then put a man. See, because when you bring in the laborers, don't forget now they have children. We can't. Their children are born here. We shouldn't then disenfranchise their children because by law eventually they deserve citizenship. Then so that person may have another 2 or 3 children. So that one person can then multiply automatically. This ain't coming up through the system. This is just a grown person now has a wife, then they have children. So what I'm saying is when we bring that, we can't just look at all the labor or no, you have children then come along, and then those children most likely go to public school, and then there's the hospital. So all of these get impacted. So I'm saying we really need to look at how to really quickly address that, and then, go forward. But thanks, I don't want to take no more time. I appreciate it.
Let's go to this caller, then we go to commercial break right here. Then let me read this. Says, good morning. To add to the call from Grand Bahama, I think the government should only offer scholarships to careers that are needed now until we get the skill field level. I think that's what the government doing now. They don't give scholarship for every and anything. I know they don't give scholarship for law or anything. They do it for skills. But we just have a lot of areas that lacking. So it's a lot of scholarships given out. But let's go to caller. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good morning, Ms. Green. Good morning. Good morning, Ms. Green. Good morning, Mr. Newry.
Good morning.
Yeah, that last gentleman was very intelligent. So he gave a whole chronology that made sense as far as mitigating the citizenry, migrants becoming citizenship using the work permits scam, right? Now, we saw about the whistleblowers are concerning immigration. I don't want to get into corruption in the country, et cetera, et cetera. But what I wanted to touch on was the gentleman we called earlier and talked about the BTI substations in the inner city. Firstly, the government, if they say they recognize how serious the gang problem is. So the lady from Freeport highlighted a problem that I've been saying for a while. So we know that in the inner city, the guys would be reluctant to go out of the area because they could be going in the area of a foe. And this, you need to hear from these people, not me, because I'm kind of up in age, so they know what's going on. So in other words, they're reluctant to come out of the area, but they're willing to learn. So she highlighted those stuff, I know, pipe fitting, pipe threading. I used to do all those things, working with black iron pipe, etc. My weakest point maybe might be welding, but I learned all of those things, and those things are very, very beneficial. And so these are skills that people pay $25, $50 an hour. And so secondly, I'd like to say the migrant labor, they're not more skillful than the Bahamian labor. It's just that they can be exploited more, and everybody knows that. So even though the minister made that statement, it may be somewhat true, but I'm not seeing the data on the demographics for you to make such a bold statement. Am I correct, Aaron?
Yep, Aaron, just step
Show me
up.
you have a labor department.
Mm-hmm.
You have computers. You have technology. You show me the data. You see what I'm saying? This is just too much for me. You see what I'm saying? And so when we look at the even right now, some members in the high school, they're not able to go to school because of gang activity, Aaron. This is we're facing up against.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at a whole chronology, but some guys right now, see, you have to go and speak with these young people. All right? As a young gentleman who comes by me, his mother died some time ago. I give him little things here and there, but he started to overdo it, and I riled him once. And he took it to heart. So I realized they look up to you. And there's a lot of people out there hurting. I didn't even want to talk of what's going on in the city because I observe it more because even though I grew up in the inner city, I was not never this impoverished. To see the impoverishedness. I mean, the poverty. And so it's getting scary. So with the PM, them talking, and he's saying certain things, but we need to listen to one another. Like Lester Cox said, the answers we seek are within us. That last gentleman who called, and the lady from Freeport who called, and she talked about the skilled labor. You mentioned yourself, something that I was even interested in, small engines repair, escalator repair, electronics. We teach electronics, but what I'm saying is we're not facilitating decent mechanics, how to fix the boat engines, etc. Those things are very high-paying jobs, Mr. Newry. You know that, right?
I know that, especially for the elevators.
The Cubans master that in Florida.
Yep.
Hydraulics, all of those things. I learned all. So, I mean, I'm not seeing it. What I'm saying is with inner-city people, I'll be willing to help. Because pipe threading and dyeing pipes and all those things, those are skills. All right? This is something that's needed. You could help produce things. Even, like you said, even with the upholstery, I had to start up as an apprenticeship with my money, 10 years to master this, So don't mind people talking what they do. What I'm saying is this upholstery is more detailed than you think. And as far as capabilities, you could do everything. I could make wallets. I could make anything I want to. It's just that if I go down that line, I'm just at this age now where I'm realizing this. You know, and so we are potentially in the inner city, but to watch the youth them killing one another, and then the beef and the people carrying out their agenda whilst we're killing out one another, it's like, I want to know how come they can't see it. Nobody's bringing these youths together in positive ways. So we're going to continue. I mean, it's, but you guys really don't know what's going on. Bless up.
Thank you very much, 52. We'll take this quick commercial break right now, and we'll be right back. Guiding Radio AM with CA Newry. We'll be right back.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Are you ready to catapult your business into the spotlight? Introducing Guardian Business Boots.
Ignite your success, and it's absolutely free to join.
Did you say free? Yes, free. Guardian Business Boost is not just a program. It's your ticket to unprecedented visibility and growth. The Guardian Media Group is committed to helping the Bahamas prosper by creating new opportunities for small businesses, who are the key drivers of that growth.
How does it work?
It works by first registering your business with the Guardian Business Boost at thenassauguardian.com. Then, each month, Guardian Media will pick and boost 5 businesses with 1 month of free ads across our multiple advertising platforms. The Nassau Guardian newspaper, website, Guardian Radio 96.9, Star 106 Hits, and all social media platforms. Catapult your business into the spotlight with Guardian Business Boost. Sign up for free today at thenassauguardian.com.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
And welcome back to Guardian Radio AM with CA Newry. We're talking about the apprenticeship program and what's going wrong, what is not working, right? What we need to be doing. And a number of texts coming about saying that we are our worst enemy and that's what we need to police. This text is saying that it's plenty money coming in from work permits. They ain't gonna stop giving them out. Why are these people being sent home from their jobs? Are they being paid to stay at home? I have another text says, a former expat who worked as a senior VP at a big hotel on PI, when he died, his wife remained in the Bahamas and is now running the biggest Airbnb, etc. In Laifiki and in other well-to-do places, you know those people preferred people who look like them to do business. And she's just one of the examples of this kind of undercutting the system. We have a foreign neighbor who has a home here, who also has her grown son, who does odd jobs around town under the radar. They both only leave the country for a few days a year in order to be legitimate, right? That is scary. And you're hearing a number of Bahamians who are watching this happen and saying, hey, there are expats, immigrants who are able to circumvent the system, right? They are doing jobs that Bahamians can do, right? They're doing jobs with areas that say for Bahamians only, right? They're painting, they're doing, what do you places, creating the side, in local museums. They are doing computer work, website designs, right? They're even doing garden work. Right now in the Bahamas, the elevator business, we have all the high-rise business have elevators. The elevator business is controlled by Mexicans. All the employees are seemingly Mexicans. So clearly, we know that this is an area that Bahamians could tap into. Surely there can be an apprenticeship program in the elevator business that in 10, 20 years, I know the Mexicans ain't like this, we can only have Bahamians who could be fixing the elevators. There's no need to have the scores of Mexicans that we have. I know they mad at hearing that. But surely that's an industry that Bahamians can learn. Like I said, that we live in an archipelago and we have cruise ships, we have yachts that come in and out of this country. Surely they need maintenance. Surely they need their yachts clean. Surely they need their boats to be sprayed and painted. Surely they need basic maintenance. Surely we can get jobs doing that, doing an apprenticeship program. And see, we keep on calling this maid job. But it's high-paying, working-class, blue-collar jobs out there that we can take advantage of, where we can have a more than just good living. We could do well, but we just don't seem to have access to these jobs. How is it that we have, pardon me, the third largest ship registry, right? And we don't have Bahamians on yachts sailing around the world. All these boats parked here, these big boats and yachts parked here. Shouldn't they have 3 to 4 Bahamians on each boat? Because the yachts have like a team of 10, team of 15. You're trying to say out of the 10 or 15, 3 of them can't be Bahamians on there. We should have the largest professional of boat entrepreneurs, boat mechanics, boat workers, yacht workers in the Bahamas working. We need to change this. There needs to be some kind of system where we find out what jobs are here in the Bahamas. A registry, what jobs are here in the Bahamas that Bahamians can do. And stop shouting out, oh, you can be a bartender and maid. Surely there's jobs that we can do and flourish in. Anyway, this has been Guardian Radio AM with C.A. Newry. Have a wonderful day.